All right. Much anticipated, much requested to get this draft order stream rolling. And so here we are. And we're going to get things going here. So let's see, what is the date on our draft, folks? You know, I forget. It's, let's see. August 27th at 6 p.m. And that's the date that we'll be actually doing the draft. It is a snake draft. I'm sure most of you haven't. Everybody has an idea. All right, I'm looking at everybody in the league. If you don't know what a snake draft is, I probably wouldn't even have asked you to be in the league. So I think you guys got a pretty good idea how that works. So yeah, let me just. I'm sending out a few things here that are live so people can watch this here. A few people that are in the league aren't part of a Discord or any of my gaming related people, so I'm just letting them know that that this is up and running. Oh, could you guys see what that's on my screen? You could see that? Oh, that's good. Brady, what's going on, bud? I don't know if you can see that. It's alright with me. So we're going to get back over here. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about this fantasy football season, to be honest with you. And we'll recap what happened last year here shortly, which is excellent. Oh, what am I doing here? I gotta share, copy link. I gotta send this to a few of my buddies, so we'll get that out there. So everybody, I mean, tell me, what are you guys thinking this fantasy? Not just fantasy football, but the football season coming up. Their training camps, obviously, are back in play. We've already had 2 preseasons. So what are you thinking? What's on your mind with this fantasy football? I'll tell you what, I've been watching Hard Knocks. 2 episodes. I mean, there might be a third one now, but I just checked of Hard Knocks with the Jets. It's pretty good. I mean, I like it. I never watched any of the Hard Knocks before. No other team really interested me that I cared enough about. And the only reason I'm watching the Jets, obviously, is because as a Packers fan, I want to see what the how Aaron Rodgers is doing with the Jets and kind of how he's fitting in there. So I did watch that. I think it's pretty interesting. It's pretty neat. I don't know if you guys checked any of that out. But I've been doing a lot of. I've been looking around a lot, the league, and good old Dak Prescott, man. He just cannot escape that heat in Dallas and from everybody else. And it's hard to believe. I believe they had a 12-win season last year. And I think he's had 2 12-win seasons, and he just keeps keeps getting heat, but rightfully so. I mean, I'm sorry. I say what you want about the guy, but I don't. When it comes to the playoffs, I don't think he's performed. So I'm kind of surprised that Dallas has stuck with him as long as they have. But what choice did they have? They paid the guy tons of money, and Jerry Jones has way too much pride to eat that and say that he's made a mistake and that he's not going to play. So. I think I got everybody here. I gotta see. And I got Tank here eating everything. I have no idea what he's eating. But yeah, second season of the Soggy Bottom Boys. I've had this league before. If any of you are just tuning in, I had this league years ago, and I actually ran it for about 5 or 6 years. And when I went to, and I stopped playing for 3 or 4 years, but when I went to reactivate the league, I couldn't find, it didn't exist anymore. So I don't know if they did some kind of purge or whatever. So I had to kind of create it all over again from scratch. But here we are. And Tank, come on, bud. I don't know if any of you have pugs or anything like that, but they act like they're hungry all the time. They act like they're starving constantly. And I got one more here. All right, I think I got everybody. I don't know. All right, let me get in here, guys. I know chat. I see you guys in here. Okay. Brady, Andy, what's going on, man? Buckeye, what's happening? Working nights. Andy, I thought that was over. What happened here? Oh, shit. Just dropped something. My other webcam. I was going to run a dual webcam at one point, but I have a hard enough time running a stream with one, let alone two. Nobody cares. So yeah, Brady, Bajiko plays. Where are you at? You're always gabbing about football and fantasy football. I've got nothing in the chat from you. Now I know this will get you. So we're going to recap last year's league. I don't want to pull up the page because our full names are on there and emails. Obviously, I won't show the email section, but our full names are on there. So just for privacy's sake, okay, we're going to leave that down. Last year was interesting. And Bajiko, you can help me out with a little bit of history in my memory because I got too many hits to the head. But so I was the league champion last year, right here. Second place was Brady's team, which was Fail Mary. And let me see here. I'll get the record. So yeah, second place was Fail Mary, which was Brady, and third place was the Pittsburgh Smokers. Now, interesting thing with the Pittsburgh Smokers were they were undefeated for a long time. I think they were like 7-0, and then they just went on a major losing streak. But Scott, the owner, was able to kind of turn it around and at least, get some more wins to get him back into that third place. But I was shocked with the losing streak that he had. And he just, He played a lot of good teams. You know, we all do. We all play the same people, but um, it was tough. He had a tough run there, man. And I know Scott outside of the fantasy football world and stuff, and I see him, and we were talking about it, and he's like, "What's going on? What am I doing?" And he wasn't doing anything wrong. He had a good team. He had good players, but that's fantasy, man. That's just the way it goes. Just the way it goes. And then let's see here. We're gonna jump over to season 2022. So I had a 13-1 season. The only team that I lost to was Fail Mary, which was my son's team. And of course, I never heard the end of it. I still don't hear the end of it, and it was last year. That being said, Fail Mary took second place. He finished the season with 11-3. It was his first time ever playing fantasy football. He did an excellent job. So hats off to you. You did a great job. And we did have a lot of first-time players in the league last year. Some of them either fell off in the season. They weren't putting their... You have to keep an eye on your starters each week. And sometimes they have bye weeks. So you have to put your backups in. If you don't do that, then you don't have a player, and you're kind of allowing your opponent to get free points. I don't like that. Okay, and that just tells me that you're not keeping an eye on your fantasy league. You know. So anyway, some of those players that we had, and that's fine. They don't want to play anymore. That's fine. We parted ways, and we got some new players in this year. Guys, make sure we hit that like button as we're coming in too. But yeah, so those are the top three teams. In the final game, you know, it was One Chance Fancy, which is my team, and Fail Mary in the finals. And we got the Damar Hamlin injury. And Brady just so happened to have some players that were in that game. Obviously, the game was stopped, and it wasn't played, and it wasn't replayed. So it kind of hurt his score as far as the final outcome for the championship, which kind of stinks. Yeah, 5 of your players couldn't play. And I realized that, so what I did is I tried to go in and even things up. I pulled some of my starters out, put some of my backups in to kind of try to level out the playing field a little bit, because I understood it was unfair for him. But ultimately, I made the adjustments, and I ended up winning. Okay, so I wouldn't say there's an asterisk by that win. I won. One way or another. If Damar Hamlin never got hurt, Bajiko had a hell of a team. He already beat me once in the regular season. I don't know what happened in the finals. But all I do know is I'm looking at the page here in front of me, and I'm the champion, Brady. So you're going to have to live with that. So yeah, it was a good season. Andy, noob for me. Noob for the win this time. Yeah, and we'll help you through. If you guys are all new players in the league, we'll help you. If you have any questions, just ask me, ask Bajiko. We're very familiar with how this whole thing is run. After today's selection, I'm going to manually set the draft order. So I would strongly suggest that after today, you can go on to the ESPN page. This is where your draft is going to take place, and you can do what's called a mock draft. It's a practice draft. Doesn't count for anything, but at least you'll get to know how to use the drafting system. So I would strongly suggest doing that. This way, 5 minutes before draft time, you don't want to sit down and be like, okay, what do I do? Because if you message me 5 minutes before draft time and say, okay, I need help, I'm going to tell you to piss off. I'm just kidding. But what, in a nicer way, I'm going to tell you I can't help you because I'm getting ready for the draft in 5 minutes, in the next 5 minutes. So get yourself familiar with it. It is a good time. This is a bragging league. There's no money involved in this. I toss it around in my head about, if you put $5 per person in. The winner gets this amount, that amount. Maybe a couple years down the road. Let's see if we can get, if we get a steady group of 12 players that play every year and they want to do something like that, fine. I'm all for it. But right now, the league is just strictly for a good time, bragging rights. Let's see what Brady's saying here. Is Buckeye still in here? Does she play? Does she play fantasy at all? I would have won based on how many players were starting in that game. Well, we'll never know, Brady. We'll never know, buddy. But yeah, we're looking at on to 2023. It's a new season. And we got 8 days till the draft. Again, Sunday, August 27th, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Andy, that might be kind of late for you, bud. I'm sorry, but that was where I can. That was really the best I can get you in, like that time to do it. So I'm just waiting to see if anybody else kind of filters in here before we get started. Again, I did send a few texts out to a few of my friends with the link to see if they're interested in getting in here watching this. If you're just jumping in, haven't subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and do it. I'm already at 91. I would like to get to 100. That'd be cool. Hit the like button. I'm off that week, so I'll be up. No worries. Awesome. Awesome. So yeah, so this fantasy football year is going to be interesting. It is. Last year when I drafted my team, honestly, when you look at the team I drafted, I didn't have a team. I mean, I had a team, but they were not top performers. Nowhere near it. Some teams drafted really well. I know the Pittsburgh Smokers, they finished third in the league. They went on, I believe, about a 7-0 run until they lost about 4 straight. But, yeah, it's one thing with fantasy football. You know, you're going to go through your draft and you're going to feel, well, I didn't draft very well. Or, oh, my team's going to suck. Just stick it out. That's one thing I learned in fantasy football is, you know, don't get so hung up on, oh, my draft was terrible. ESPN will send you draft grades. They'll say you drafted a C, you know, or a D, or your draft grades. Don't mind all it. My draft grade was not good, and I won the league last year. So just be patient with your players. Give it a few weeks for it to iron out. I know with Pajico, it was his first year. When he got done with the draft, he wasn't quite happy with his draft, and he was immediately on the message boards trying to draft it or trade his entire team away. I said, just stick with it, see how it pans out in the first couple weeks, and you know he made it into the championship game. So, but yeah, fantasy football is fun. It's strategic. The most important thing with that, Andy, or any new players playing, you got to watch your bye weeks. One important thing with the bye week, I mean, if you have a quarterback, and I don't know the weeks, their bye weeks, but let's say you have Joe Burrow, and then your second backup is Dak Prescott. Well, if they're both on a bye week, week 7, guess what? You don't have a quarterback. So if you draft Joe Burrow at week 7, you better draft a quarterback that has a different bye week. So this way, when Joe's off, Burrow has a bye week, you can insert your other quarterback. That's very important. And that goes for every position. Running back, receiver, tight end, your defense, kickers. So you got to be thinking. You got to be on top of it. And check on your lineups before game time in case of injuries. Yes, good point. Very good point. Right up till 1 o'clock, you know, Sunday. And, you know, check that. Because you log into your fantasy football, you look at your team starting, and it'll tell you if who's, you know, injured, doubtful, you know, that type of thing. So very important. Keep an eye on your injuries, your starters. So yeah, other than that, there's a lot involved. There's a lot of research. I mean, if you really want to get that far into it, but yeah, let's go ahead and we're gonna get things started. Let me make sure I got 12 entries. All right, now we are doing this from the wheel. So what I'll do first is I'll spin, and obviously the first spin is going to be for the first selection of the 2023 fantasy football draft. And then what I'll do is I'll go in and manually set that. I don't remember who got first pick last year. Do you remember, Bajiko? I could probably find it. Are the games every Sunday, or will there be games during the week? No, there'll be games during the week, Thursday night. So Thursday night games as well, you need to make sure they're set. Cheers, yeah. All right, let me see here. And we're going to get things rolling here in just a second. All right, so we're going to go head over and we're going to spin for the first selection of the 2023 draft. Monday night, Thursday night. Sometimes they move games to be on a holiday, like Thanksgiving games and Christmas games. Yeah. And when you log into when you get into your fantasy football thing, it'll also your players, like in the lineup, it'll give you the date, the day and time that specific player plays. You know, so you kind of having a heads up of when they're playing, which is nice. So, okay, here we go. Are we ready? Bajiko, you ready? Andy? I don't know who else is in here. I don't know. But this is it. This will be for the number one draft pick of the 2023 fantasy football draft, the Soggy Bottom Boys League. Here we go. Let me get this. All right, here we go. The number one pick. Who's it going to be? Let's go. Jeff with the number one pick of the 2023 Fantasy League Draft. All right, Jeff. I'm just writing this down too, because then I'm going to go in and edit it. And we're going to remove them from the wheel. Jeff with the number one pick. Let me close this down. I'm going to bump over here, and I want to check out what Jeff's stats were last year. Jeff was Najee by nature, and he finished 8th in the league out of 12 with a 6-8 record. He had a real competitive team, though. Wait, Tank. I remember that. He did have a very good team. Yeah, he did have Justin Fields was his quarterback. He did have DK Metcalf, Najee Harris there. He also had Aaron Rodgers was one of his quarterbacks. So yeah, he had a very he had a good team. He had a solid team. 6-8's not bad. Andy T, how many players in total do you need to pick? Yeah, 12. 12 to play, and then you got to pick bench players. You know, you got to have your backups. So like 24. There's a roster cap. It'll tell you. But what you're going to want to do is try to keep a mental note. And it also tells you during draft how many quarterbacks you have, how many running backs you have. And basically what it is, Andy, is here, I'll get over and I'll show you my team. All right, so there's no personal info on here. All right, let me show you my team here. So you get a good look at it here. All right, so you have your team. Could you see this or no? Hopefully you could see it. Let me just make this a little bigger. So basically, you have your starters right up top here. Okay? You have your quarterback, 2 running backs. This is the starting lineup up top. So you could start 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, and a flex. Now, a flex can either be a running back, tight end, or wide receiver. And then you have a starting defense, which also counts as your special teams. So, like my defense was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers shut out a team and had like 3 interceptions, you know, interceptions count as bonus points. Special teams, like punt returns, kickoff returns, that's all extra points too. And you don't have to do any figuring of the points. ESPN already calculates that for you. You just have to input the players to start. And it's a very easy thing to do. There'll be a button there that you can push on, like my quarterback, and then you can move him down here. This is the backup. This is the bench. So Joe Burrow, Amon St. Brown, which was phenomenal last year for me. So yeah, and then a kicker. You know, you got to draft a kicker. So again, it's real easy. It's real easy to do. That's a look there. This was last year's stats over here. Nice one, thanks. No, you got it. Yeah, we're very competitive. Wherever insert name. That's my brother. He finished 9-5, but they put Pittsburgh Smokers just over him because I believe there was a tie, and when they in the records, and Pittsburgh Smokers beat him during the regular season. I think that's kind of how it shook out there. And the Redskins 7-7. I know that from 9 through 12, they were all newer players. You know, with the 4-10, the 5-9 records, they did okay. You know, they did all right, but a few of them missed their rotations. They missed updating their rosters, which hurt them in a lot of games. And then, but I mean, the top 8. When you really look at the top 8, they're all competitive. I mean, it was good. It was fun. It was fun. All right, so let's get back over here to 2023. We're going to jump back over to the draft wheel. And Jeff has the #1 pick. of the 2023 draft. So we're about to go for number 2. Who's going to get number 2? Let's see. We're going to find out. Let's push this button. Here we go. Second pick. The Soggy Bottom Boys. Fantasy football draft. Here we go. And we got Travis at number 2. Yes, webcam. Thank you, my boy. Let me get that over here. So Travis at number 2. And we just reviewed his stats. He was 9-5 last year. That's my brother. He is very familiar with fantasy football, played in quite a bit of leagues. So you certainly can never count him out of anything. So I'm trying to think of what the draft order last year was. I think I have that. I do have that info here somewhere. I don't remember where he drafted last year. Here we go. Draft recap. He actually drafted, he had the second pick last year. And he got the second pick again this year. How about that? And then we got Jeff was drafted 4th last year. So he's got the number 1 pick. Travis in number 2 once again for the 2nd straight year. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to move along here. And we're going to start for the number 3 pick. Let's find out. Who's it going to be? Hopefully me. Well, yeah, I'll take 3rd. We'll see. Let's see what happens. Here we go. The number 3 pick. And we got Glenn taking up the 3rd spot here. Let's see. Where did Len draft last year? Oh, he was 9th. 9th last year, what he drafted. And let's see here. What did he finish with last year? 6-8. Finished 7th, 6-8. Solid season. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go into custom, and then the time spinning, we're going to bump it up a little bit more, just so we can mix up the wheel spin. So we got the top 3 so far. We got Jeff, Travis, and Len rounding out the top 3 of the fantasy football draft. Here we are for number 4. Let's go. Boy, Jason, new in the league this year. Jeff, Travis, and Len, they played last year in this league. But Jason, this is his first time in. No stranger to football. Let's put it that way. So, Jason with the number 4 pick. Good for him. That'll work. That will work. All right, we're about to go top 5. Let's see what the top 5 is here. But Chico, what are you feeling? How are you feeling right now? You're falling down the boards here. I'm falling down the boards. We're at number 5. Andy, you're still out there. We got the top 4 on the table. Number 1 pick, Jeff. Number 2, Travis. Number 3, Len. And number 4, Jason. Brady feeling pretty good. Bajiko feeling pretty good. Pretty good. Hey, I drafted last year. But I'll tell you what. When you draft last, you get that back-to-back pick. Boom, boom. Which is nice. It's all right. I'm looking for 7th, 5th, or 6th. Hey, you got as good shot as any. But we're just jumping in. Go ahead and make sure, if we haven't done so already, hit that like button. It's okay. I don't know any of the players anyway. Andy, you better do some homework on American football, man. You better do it. Get your boy, get Franklin, and those kids at that age that they have a mind of a sponge. Put them on tell him for 2 days go and do all this research on American football, and he'll come back and he'll blah 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 blah. blah. Yeah, kids are like sponges, man. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna spin for the top 5. Okay, we're gonna spin for number 5 of the draft. Who's it gonna be? Who do we got? And we got Sean in the number 5 spot. I've known Sean for years. He was in the league last year with us. Knows football. And always a competitor. So Sean's going to take the number 5 spot in the 2023 draft. Where did he finish last year? Five and 9. He finished 5 and 9. Yeah, I've played with him in the past in fantasy football leagues, going way back. He's a good player. I know. He had a tough year last year, 5 and 9. Hell, I've played fantasy football leagues where I was 5 and 5 or whatever. It's tough. It's tough. All right, so that's going to round out the top 5. On to pick number 6. Halfway there. So let's go ahead and roll this. We're going to find out who's number 6 of the draft. Here we go. Hit that like button on the way in, guys, if you haven't done so already. Please, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, just hit subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. Yep. Yep. There he is, Xavier Floyd. Brady, I got the number 6. You know, this guy, let me talk about Floyd for a minute. This guy here, when it comes to fantasy football, doesn't get any better. I mean, look at this. Champion, one chance fancy, drafted last year, now in the 6th spot, only moving up. Number 6, I'll take it. I'll take it. Bajiko's already yelling in the chat. Here we go. Hey, you're doing all right, though. I'm telling you, if you didn't, I would be happy getting 12th pick again. I don't mind picking last. I liked it. I do. Like I said, hit that like, guys, coming in. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, please. But I don't think I don't think I'm happy with 6th pick. I don't think I like that. I mean, I guess it's not bad. It is a 12-man league, so it's going to snake up 12. Well, I'll get the 6th pick. It's going to snake up to 12 and then snake back to 6. I guess that's not terrible. Whatever. We'll take it. But yeah, this guy with the 6th pick, I went 13-1 last year. I don't care. I'll take it. All right. So now we're going to be on to number 7. Let's find out where we go. Here we go. Andy with the number 7 pick. Here you go. It's not bad. Andy is a first-time player in fantasy and in the league. So this is going to be quite the experience for him. We're going to go ahead now. We're going to increase the spin time a little bit more. Get a little bit more dramatic now that we're getting towards the... We're more than halfway through. But Chico, how you feeling? Are you getting nervous here? Hey, at least you're going to know. You wanted to know what number you were going to be tonight because you want to run mock drafts. You want to run some practice drafts. You're going to get that chance. Nope, what? You're not feeling good? There's nothing wrong. I mean, like I said, there's nothing wrong with picking later in the draft. I never had a problem with it. I don't really care. I mean, number 1's nice. And that's if you're going for obviously the number 1, you're going to pick the best player that scores the most amount of fantasy points. That's obvious. So yeah. All right, here we go. For the number 8 spot of the Soggy Bottom Boys Fantasy Football. Here we go. Let's spin it. I'm just glad I'm off the board already. Up. The wheel's still moving. There he is. He's off the board. The anticipation is over for Bajiko. All these nights he lost sleep wondering, where am I going to be in the draft? Dad, when are you going to stream the draft pick? When are you going to do it, Dad? What time are you going to do it? There you have it, son. Your number 8 pick in the 2023 Fantasy Football Draft. Now you can get your mock drafts in. So that's good. Number 8's not terrible. Yeah, I'll take it. You said you'll take 8. So we're almost there. After I get done streaming this, I'm probably going to be playing some Dead by Daylight. I'm going to be streaming that a little bit later. I'm really enjoying that. Really enjoying the game. Hey, hold on. Tank! What are you doing? Come on. Pugs are into everything. Come on, Pug Nugget. Come on. I'm doing a draft right now. Well, a draft order pick. Maybe I'll stream my draft this year from my perspective. I could stream the draft. Actually, I don't know if I'm going to stream it because it gets very intense. And, like, you have to focus. Hey, what is that? Here he is. Here's Tank. No. Tank, say hi to everybody. Everybody in Pug Nation. Pugs are so weird, people. You know. Oh, I just got dog hair all over my shirt. Pugs sit like humans. He'll be on the couch, right? He'll be on the couch, sitting there. He'll sit on his butt like a human and put his arm up on the edge of like an armrest. He looks so weird. Hank, what are you eating now? I just put you down. All right, so we're already up to number 8 pick. Let me review the picks that we got so far. In the number 1, first draft pick, we got Jeff. Number 2, Travis. Number 3, Len. Number 4, Jason. Number 5, Sean. Number 6, me. Number 7, Andy. And number 8, Brady or Bajiko. That's the top 8. We got 4 more to go in this draft. And we're going to find out who's going to be. Let's take a look. Hey! They get really anxious when the draft comes. All right, here we go. Let's spin for number 9. Who's it going to be? Guys, come on. I'm working here. Dog hair all over. Up. Is it going to stop? Ah, there we go. Anthony. You know him as Anthony. I know him as Tony. I've known him since we were kids. We played football together. Good football player. Well knowledge of football. Takes the number 9 spot in the 2023 fantasy football draft. Get him off the board. He's in 9th place. Or 9th pick. And there we go. He's new to the league this year. Did not play last year, but has played in other leagues that I've had. So he knows what he's doing. He's a Steelers fan. We all can't be perfect. So, but there we go. Again, if we haven't done so already, people, please hit that like button. Subscribe if you have not. Doesn't cost anything to subscribe. You just push a button. I'm at 91. I'd like to hit 100. That'd be cool. But yeah. So yeah, we got 3 people left on the board here. We got Steve, who was in last year's league. He was the Redskins, 7-7, and he was in the hunt. I believe he made the playoffs. Yeah, top 6 teams made the playoffs. And let me see here. Yeah, so he was in the playoffs, did really well there, and yeah, he did great. All right, so we're going to go back over here. Finished with a 7-7 record last year. And then we got Scott. That's Pittsburgh Smokers. He took 3rd place last year. Again, he was on the 7-0 run, was undefeated, and then lost a string of games. What team was he? He was the Redskins. Scott was the Pittsburgh Smokers. But he drafted real well last year. Got out to a hot streak early. And then we got Joe. You know him as Average American Joe. He's in the league this year. He is new in my league. I think he's played fantasy football before. I don't know. I think he has, but he knows football. So that's all you need to. Second best team in total points. Who was that? The Redskins? He was tough to go against. Who was, the Redskins or the Pittsburgh Smokers? They were both tough to go against. You said yes. I gave you an... Which team? The Redskins or the Smokers? Or both? All right, I don't know. He didn't answer. He must be busy. Hold on. Let me see here. Again, I'm trying to make this as private as I can for some. 2022, we had standings. Oh, points forced. No, because you said second best team in total points. Oh, total points? No, I don't think so. I mean, points forced last year offensively was Fail Mary, which was your team, which was 1,774 points. Second to that was wherever insert name, which was Travis with 1,745 points. Third most forced was me with 1,719. And then the Redskins at 1,680. And then Pittsburgh Smokers at 1,648. He had the second most points scored. Where do you see that? Because I'm not seeing that. Because I'm looking, I don't want to, people's names are in here. And I don't want to pull that up. And I can't, it's not allowing me to hide it for some reason. But I'm not seeing that. I'm looking at points forced. Final standings. I'm not going by regular season. Yeah. All right. So let's get back at it. We only got 3 more picks to go here. We'll get this started here for number 10, the Fantasy Football League draft picks. Here we go. Let's see who will be picking 10. Hank. American Joe with the number 10 pick. There you go. Rounds out. Again, Joe's new to this league. I have no stats on Joe, but I know Joe knows football. So that's a start. So right now, let me recap the top 10. We got two more left. So we're going to recap here. The first pick of the draft will be Jeff. Second, Travis. Third, Len. Fourth, you're looking at Jason. Number 5 pick, Sean. Number 6 pick, myself. Number 7, Andy. Number 8, Brady or Pajico. Number 9, Anthony. And number 10, Average American Joe. So we're down to the final 2 here. It's going to take 1 spin to determine 2 spots right here. Who's it going to be? Let's go. The Pittsburgh Smokers, Scott, the number 11 spot, which now leaves Steve, the Redskins, 7-7 season last year, picking 12th of the 2023 draft. And that closes that out. Now I'm going to give the wheel a spin because I know Steve would want his name spun. And we're doing it. Here we go. There we go. All right, and that concludes the draft, ladies and gentlemen. Go back over here. We're going to hide that. Not bad. I mean, there it is. Number 1 pick, Jeff. Number 2, Travis. 3rd, Len. 4th, Jason. 5th, Sean. 6th, myself. 7, Andy. 8, Brady. 9, Anthony. Number 10, Average American Joe. Number 11, Scott. And rounding out the draft, number 12 pick, last pick, Steve. Should be interesting. We'll see what happens. So what I'm going to do now, off stream, only because, let me check something. Because I believe if I go in here, close that. Yeah, no, I'm gonna do it right now. The problem is I pull up my screen, guys. You're gonna see everybody's first and last name, and I don't, I ain't gonna do that. I'm not going to do that. So, let me move Jeff. While we're here, we're going to move him up to number 1. Number 2, we're going to put him here. Now, what's happened is once I save and confirm this, the Fantasy Football League, everybody that's in here, I have your emails. So what's going to happen is once I insert this for random order, it's going to stay in there. And 1 hour before the draft, you're going to see all this. I'll send it in Discord. I'll send a screenshot so everybody knows who's who. So number 3, Len. 4, Jason. 5, Sean. So thoughts, people. What's going on? Talk to me, Goose. Number 6. 7, we got Andy. 8, we got Brady. Number 9, Anthony. Number 10. Number 11, Scott. Let me save it. View draft order. Okay, let me go over this here. I got 8th and the 16th pick. No, 8's not bad. No, 8's not bad. Let me just go over my notes. Yep, okay. So we're locked and loaded. We got it saved here on ESPN for the draft. So that'll be a good one, folks. And I'm going to go ahead and end this stream here. Appreciate you guys for hanging out. Give me a half hour, 45 minutes to do a few things, and then I'm going to be back on streaming, probably Dead by Daylight. So if you guys are still around, that'd be awesome. Hang around, and we'll see you guys there. But yeah, it was a good night. It'll be a good season. It'll be fun. Again, anybody have any questions, let me know. And I'll try to help you out the best I can. But guys, again, thanks for hanging out. Buckeye, thanks for dropping by. I really appreciate it. Saying hi. Andy. Good deal. Brady, thanks as always. And we'll catch you later. See you guys.